get this right. Let me get y'all right, man. What's going on, man? I got something to talk about, man. And I was listening to someone, right? It was like a little clip that I seen, right? And it was basically this I believe African American, I could say that, right? African American or Black American. And he basically was asking his panelists, like on his podcast, like, questions like if you go to when you go to these other countries and this, that, and the third, how many successful Black American businesses do you see over there? He mentioned a couple of countries in Africa. We all know Africa's a continent, right? Then he mentioned a couple Caribbean islands, right? And everyone was like stunned. Everyone was like, "Oh, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. You got a point." Then he referred back to the United States and then asked, like, what's one of the biggest businesses in their area? It was a club, right? That's Black owned. And they all came to an agreement about in his area. And he kind of gave a little back history of that club that's owned by a African um, descendant person, someone that came from Nigeria or Ghana, somewhere in Africa. And he basically said that he's able to come to the United States, start a business, and become successful. But we can't go to their country and start a business and become successful. And that's totally bullshit. There's nothing stopping you from going to another country to start a business. What's going on, man? Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to like. We back, man. There's nothing stopping you going to another country and starting a business. If you go to Jamaica, there's a lot of Asian people, a lot of East Asia, like India and Jamaica, that got businesses over there. So what stopped them from leaving their country to go to Jamaica and do it? If you go to other countries like Haiti and Dominican Republic and a lot of these other island Caribbean islands, what's stopping those individuals that are not originally from that country open up a business? But for some reason, Americans are not opening up businesses there. That's a false, totally false narrative. The same thing these foreigners are doing in America, you could do in their country. What's stopping you? And to me, it's like baffling. Like, oh, you know, these foreigners come to this country and they're taking over the businesses and this and that. Why you ain't do it? You're from here. Now, of course, back in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 30s, with the redlining. If you guys don't know a brief history, back in the days, um, for every 5 Black Americans that went into a bank to open up to get a business loan to start a business, right, with the redlining, one might get approved. But for every 5 Asian that went to the bank to open up a business, 3 might get approved with the condition. Those Asians, don't forget to like, don't forget to like. Those Asians were not allowed to open up business in the suburbs, those communities. But they can open up a business in the urban community, the ghetto, right? As you could say. That's where you see a lot of Asian restaurants in Black communities. That's where you see a lot of liquor businesses in Black community. That's why you see a lot of cash advance businesses. Because you gotta remember, when you go to a bank, right? Don't forget to like, when you go to a bank, you gotta have a NAS code, right? Basically, it identifies what industry you are in. So if you are a finance advisor, there's a code for that. If you are a truck driver, there's a code for that. If you real estate, think of anything, consultant, whatever, there's a code for that. That will help the bank understand and know, hey, is this a high risk business or low risk business? But it also can navigate if a bank wants to give you business. Don't forget the light. Don't forget the light. It helps you navigate the bank. If they want to give you a business, you say, okay, well, we don't want you to open up a financial freedom type of business in the urban community. But if you change your code to maybe get a liquor license or maybe get you a restaurant, then we'll be able to give you the funds. You catch my drift? So yes, back in the days there was a lot of redlining. Back in the days there was a lot of things that were preventing Black Americans from progressing. But at one point in time, Black Americans were one of the most successful economy in America. Don't forget alike. Don't forget alike. But when you talk about the Black Wall Street, right? That got bombed. When you talk about Rosewood, that was a massacre. When you talk about Black childrens and families going to church and they're getting their bomb blown up by the oppressor, right? We could say it. You guys know the history. That put a stigma and a black cloud over those particular group of people. So I understand the struggles that Black Americans went through in life. Their ancestors. Now, 2025. If you're 25, if you're if you're from 1 all the way up to 30, 40 years old, you did not live through that. You did not live through that. I'm talking about Black Americans. So when I hear the stigma that, oh, these foreigners are coming to this country and they're starting businesses up, blah 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 blah, they're taking up all our businesses. Why haven't you done it yourself? Because I'm gonna tell you something. These foreigners, if they were able to start a business in their country, they wouldn't be here right now. That's facts. Don't forget like these foreigners would not have been here right now if they were able to start a successful business in their country. You got to remember, America is different compared to these other countries. You could find a job. You could lose your job today in America and find another one that same day. You can't even get a job in these other countries. You have to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody in these other countries. So getting a job was a privilege in these other countries. So they grew up, these kids grew up watching their parents, their grandparents, their relatives, their friends, their neighbors hustling, making food and selling it on the street. Man, lock it up, lock it up, lock it up. Making food and selling it on the street. Fixing microwaves or whatever they can fix and selling it back to another customer, another person. Getting leaves from palm trees and making sandals or whatever they got to do. Buying sandals at a wholesale price. Maybe they have families in other countries that can send them money so they can buy items where they can resell it in their neighborhoods. That's what they grew up in. Don't forget like. Come on, let's like it up. Like. That's what they grew up in. They grew up hustling. So when they get the opportunity to come here, and I'm not talking about the whole percentage of foreigners that come to America that does this, but majority of them, when they come from their country to come here to America and they get their first job, they feel uncomfortable. They don't know how to manage being told what to do, how much they can make. Because when you have your own business, you determine how much you'll make that day. You determine what's your salary going to be for the end. What's your gross going to be at the end of the week. You know your quota, and you know you have to meet a quota. In America, we know our hours, and that's how much we're making every week, every day, same pay, right? So when they come to America and they work these 9 to 5, they feel uncomfortable. They don't feel like themselves. They feel like there's a void when they start working this system, this program that America puts in our lives. Come on, man, we got 5 people here. Just like, give me one like. They start getting that program where people that America, the government puts in for the American citizen. Go to school, get a degree, get a good job, put in your 401k. There's no pensions no more if you're not working the state. Get a 401k, and then you'll retire after that. Right? I remember I heard someone at a job that told me, you know what this is? I was busting my butt right at work, construction, and I in my mind was like, if I could finish this job early, I could take a break for the rest of the day. One of the coworkers saw me just busting my ass, and she told me like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get the job done." She's like, "Well, you still got the whole week." I'm like, "I know, but if I could get this job done, then next week, I could kind of just maintain instead of me fixing the problem. Now I could get to that point where I'm just maintaining the problem." And she told me, "No, no, 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 you're doing all wrong. You know what this is called?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Do it a little by little by little. It's called job security." I said, "Job security? What the hell is job security?" Don't do everything all in one day. Stretch it out. So you at least know you'll have a job the next day. I swear I thought that was the most dumbest shit I heard in my life. But that's how a lot of people process and think. So when these foreigners come to this country and they go through this process that American government society try to train, not all Americans are like this. It doesn't process in their head. Job security. What do you mean job security? Back in my country, as long as I had something to sell, I was going to make money. Over here, you're telling me to drag my feet so I could come back and work again. Didn't make sense. In their countries, if I could get rid of my products today, I could get some more. If I could get some more, I can make more money. But over here, drag your feet so you can have a job tomorrow and the next day and the next week, maybe the whole next 10 years, 30 years, right until you retire. So what happened is these foreigners come to this country, they get stuck in this cycle, they see what's going on, and they sit down, and one individual will come up to them and say, "Hey man, why don't you go get a business loan, man?" There is no business loan in their country. There's a family loan, enough to get you some food in your stomach, but there is no business loan in their country. So when they hear this business loan, you need credit, you need this, you need that, you could get a building, you could do this, you could do that. What's the first thing they do? They save their fucking money and go get a business loan. Open up a business. Open up a Caribbean restaurant or grocery store. Open up a Latino restaurant or a Latino grocery store. Open up an Asian restaurant or an Asian grocery store. Open up a tire store. Open up a mechanic shop. Open up the list goes on. A liquor store, a jewelry store. Because that's all they know. Business. They want bread to be a worker. So when I hear like Americans say, "Oh, all these foreigners coming over here and taking over," why haven't you done it? And I understand now we're into the podcast era, we're into the YouTube, the streaming, and all that stuff, and they're looking at like, yeah, this is a business. Yes, it has a potential of being a business, and I understand you guys have been systematically programmed to fail. I remember Kevin Gate was talking to what's that guy named Greg Cardone, and Greg Cardone was talking about why a lot of the black community always thinks something's a scam. And Kevin, not Kevin Samuel, Kevin Hart said it correctly. He said, "Yo, when you're in a system where they want you to fail, it's hard to believe someone that wants you to succeed." Come on, we got 10 people here. Just one like. It's hard to believe someone that wants you to succeed. You think it's a scam. When you grow up in the area where you see syringes on the floor, when you see the liquor store, the cash and vans, the jewelry store, huh? That's all you know. You don't see the Starbucks, the nice grocery stores. You don't see the financials, the stock boutiques. You know, you don't see Charles Schwab's. You don't see TD Ameritrade buildings. You don't see the banks. You see the cash advance though. So it's a difference of the thought process. So I totally understand. But you cannot come here and say that foreigners come in this country and start a business, but Americans can't go in their country and start a business. Yes, you can. But what you guys see, the afraid that if you do go to another country and start a business, you're gonna fail. They're gonna rob you. They're gonna kill you. They're gonna kidnap you. There's gangs. It's unstable over there. There's no civilization over there. There's no Wi-Fi over there. The water is tainted. But in Michigan, the water been tainted for the last 10 years. Ain't nobody talking about that out there in Flint. But you go to Africa, they gonna talk about the diseases and the mosquitoes and all this bullshit. You can't go over there and start a business. And I tell you right now, you won't be the first. There are Americans that went over to other countries to start business. There are Americans that went to other places and start a whole community out there. But you're not gonna hear that. You're not gonna see it either until you go. And I truly believe like we're in a system that bred us to be workers. A couple years ago, the trucking industry had one of the biggest boom in history during the post. You know what I'm talking about. Truck drivers were making hand over fist. You literally could start a LLC, get an MC number, and start hit the ground running as a truck driver, brand new truck driver, making 10, 12, 15, $20,000 a week gross. How many of those drivers you see today took that money and invested into a business? How many of those truck drivers you see today took that money and put it in the stock market? How many of those truck drivers you see today took that money and bought real estate? I'm pretty sure there's a few, pretty sure, but it's not a lot. But let's go back. How many of those truck drivers you see today with a nice Cuban link? How many of those truck drivers are not today, during that time, was going to the designer stores? We're going on vacation. We're paying $7,000 to $8,000 on a 7-day cruise. Was buying the Corvette. Was buying the Mercedes Benz, the Bentleys, the houses, and this, that, and the third. Huh? I saw it every day. They started doing master's classes. They started doing this. I saw it every day. See, America, y'all were never taught how to really hustle. Because there's some guys right now that are doing what they're doing in the street. If they had the business mindset of that you can build your credit up and get a 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, $250,000 loan from the bank, we will have more black successful millionaires and at this time. But we don't. You guys make your money and you spend it. We got a stigma that says spend it today because we're gonna make it back tomorrow. Now when all the money is dried up, we're mad at the foreigners because they're still surviving. We're mad at the foreigners because they still got businesses. We're mad at the foreigners because now we got to walk in their store, their boutique, and spend our dollars and give it to them. But a couple years ago, it was perfectly fine to walk in the Jamaican store and order $100 to $200 worth of food. The Haitian store, the Chinese store. It was perfectly fine to go to freaking Benihana's and spend $2,000. Huh? It was perfectly fine to do that. Go to the sugar factory. I think that's what it's called, sugar factory, and spend $3,000 and showing off the receipt. But now you tight. Now you saying these goddamn foreigners taking all the money. And like I said before, like I don't get me wrong now. Was the system programmed so we could fail? Yes. But there's a loophole and there's a crack to every system. You just gotta find that crack. Pause. Pause. Why do you think back in the days when you're redlining, if you guys don't know what redlining is what the banks used to do, as far as they base you off your zip code, right? So if you guys didn't know, your zip code basically identifies the type of person you are due to the census that was collected out of that zip code. So if you live in the suburbs and you had that zip code, even though if you was rich or not rich, you will be identified to the majority of those people living in that suburb. So when you go to the bank and you apply for a loan, they ask for your address, they type in your zip code, boom, in their head is like, oh, you live in the suburbs. These people are 80%, 90% pay on time. These people's average medium income is worth da 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 da. So we will be able to give you a loan. But if you live in the hood, the urban communities, you're going to be based in that zip code. So a lot of people, a lot of people that did identity with the woo, if you guys catch my drift, they look for people in particular zip codes to target because they understand the system that the bank applied years ago and that the bank are still practicing to this day. But they just took out the red tape, right? There's still a red line, but now it's a red invisible line. Guys, catch my drift? So when Asians came in, they knew that instead of as a banker, I don't want to give the blacks money to open up a business in their own community because then now that money's going to generate in their communities. But I have no problems allowing Middle Asia and Asian people open up business in the black community because I know that dollar that they make in that community will not stay in the community. What Asians do you know? We know a lot of Chinese restaurants in the Asian in the urban communities. Have you ever seen an Asian neighbor in the ghetto? In the hood? Let me not say ghetto. In the hood. Not saying you don't. Yeah, very, small percentage. But I guarantee you when that daddy makes that bread, he's out of there. But let's think about that. Do you see? Have you ever seen? We buy their food. We go to the hair store and buy their hair. But I ain't never seen them at my school. I ain't never seen them next door to me. I have never seen them in the hood. So where the hell they live at? They live in the suburbs. So where does that money go? The money's gonna go whoever's generating the funds. That money's gonna go back to the suburbs. They're gonna pay property tax over there, not in your area. So a lot of you guys don't know, property tax helps in your area. It helps build roads. It helps put up new lights. It helps with the system of your neighborhood. When you're generating money in your community is able to take a percentage out of it. That helps. That you're basically invested into your village. So you're very very knowledgeable. Did not want the urban folks to invest in their communities because when they did, we had Black Wall Streets. When they did Rosewood. When we did, we had a lot of prominent black communities. We had black bankers. Huh? The blacks had their own bank. See, they didn't want that again. So after they did what they did and the laws kind of changed, civil rights, they came up with another system to fail. What's going on? What's going on? So I know, I understand. There's a propaganda. There's a big system that want us to fail as a community. I know that. I totally understand that. But as Americans right now, right? There's no reason why you cannot start a business just like the foreigners did. That African man that started a bit that came from Africa, that came to the United States and started a successful club in Atlanta, Georgia, he's black just like you. That islander that came from those islands and came to America and opened up a grocery store, opened up a restaurant, they're black just like you. But they did it. And I think that's what's really failing us as a society is that we don't really take accountability as a society. And that's facts. We don't really take accountability. We always point the blame. When everything's good and we're winning, we're happy. But the minute we're losing, we start pointing. It's your fault. It's your fault. Is this the reason? That's the reason. And I'm very transparent with you guys. I told you guys, like, yes, I do really believe there was a system. There is, and to this day, there's still a system that's kind of holding us back, but it's also a system that's pushing us forward. So until we can realize, all right, yes, there is some resistance, but there is some help. Let me lean on to the help rather than the resistance. You guys understand me? Oh, you guys, man, I gotta pay the bill real quick. Don't leave now. No, I got 60 people in here. Don't leave. We're gonna keep the talk. I gotta pay the bill real quick. Hold up, you guys. If I could find it. Y'all hold up, man. We got six. Man, lock it up while I'm gone, man. Lock it up, lock it up, lock it up. Give me 5 minutes. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. What's up? How many people I lost? How many people did I lost, man? Okay, we still here? Man, y'all the real MVP. For that, man, give yourself a pat in the back, man. Ah, damn, we dropped to 3. But yeah, man, like I don't like I'm not gonna buy into that foreigners are taking all the good jobs. No, there's a lot of potential out here, man. And one of the things that, man, one thing I've learned, right? I've heard when I was growing up, if you want to hide something from certain individuals, you either put it in the book or put it in their work boots. We hear that all the time. We used to kiki laugh about that. Yeah, if you want to hide information from a certain individual, all you gotta do is put it in the book or put it in their work shoes. And I told myself, well, goddamn, you ain't gonna be able to put it in my work shoes because ain't that much room in there. But you could put it in the book. You could put it in the book. So I started reading a lot of books. From me reading a lot of books, I was able to fix my credit to an 800 plus credit score. For me reading books, I was able to invest in the multiple properties. For me reading the books, I was able to learn about the stock markets. All this from a book. You could go on Amazon.com right now and order books. Whatever topic you're trying to learn, you could order it from a book. Take notes. And I know a lot of you guys, well, there's the AI. I can just go on AI, actually. Yeah, true, but all AI does is grab information from Google. That's all it does. But these books are actually something that's going to teach you from a person that actually went through that specifically and what you're looking for. You want to start a credit business? You can find it in the book. Solution, you can find it in the book. You want to start a construction business? You can find the book. You want to learn how to get government fundings? You can find it in the book. You want to learn about investment, real estate investment? You can learn. You can find in the book. You want to learn about the stock market? You can find it in the book. So all this bullshit I hear, oh, these foreigners come to America and they take our jobs, but we can't do it over there is bullshit. Yes, you can. Matter of fact, Guyana, I think Guyana or Ghana, one of those places, are telling you guys, hey, any black Americans that want to come back, that want to get a citizenship in our country, fill it out. You have Sierra and Russell Wilson. If you guys don't know who it is, who that is, Sierra is a popular singer, and Russell Wilson is a NFL player, right? Super Bowl winner, quarterback. They recently got their citizenship in that country. So it's bullshit when I hear that black Americans cannot go to other countries to start a business. No, you don't want to go. You're comfortable here. You're fucking comfortable here. You know how you want to learn. I'm gonna give you a secret, a tip about how to make money. A lot of us try to avoid problems. But did you guys know that the problems where the money is at? What do I mean? For example, a lot of people do not want to invest into real estate. There's a lot of problems. I don't want to deal with the tenants. I don't want to deal with the maintenance and the repairs. I don't want to deal with fill in the blank. But within those problems is where the money is at. So as for me, I look for problems. What's wrong with this house? Why is this house being sold for this amount? But the house next to it, that's a brand new construction home, is worth 3 times the amount that this person is trying to sell it for. Well, it needs a new roof, it needs new floors, it needs a remodel, it needs this, it needs that. So I tell myself, so if I fix that problem, then this house will be worth the same amount of that house. Yes. So what I do, I invest into that problem. After I invest into that problem, I get it appraised, reappraised, and now that house that was worth 180,000 is not worth 280,000 because I fixed the fucking problem. You understand me? Does it make sense? Are we like you catch my drift? But we grow up, avoid the problems, deviate from the problems, stay away from problems. Problem, finding a problem and finding the solution towards that problem is what's going to make you money. Look for problems. You driving a garbage truck? Nah, Brody. Nah, bro. You know what? You goddamn right. You goddamn right, Brody. You goddamn right, Brody. Um, nah, I'm driving a Toyota, man. The latest, greatest Toyota. But yeah, man. So that narrative, I like. I hear that. Oh, Americans, they can't do this in other countries, but y'all come over here. Like for example, Labor Day just passed, right? And out there in New York, a lot of the people go out there to celebrate Labor Day, and all you see is a lot of islanders celebrate Labor Day. I'm not saying that the local, black Americans are not in those Labor Day parades, but I don't see them out there representing. Ain't nobody stopping you from going out there and waving the American flag. But guess what? Some of you guys are ashamed of that American flag. Let's be honest. The history, the offense, the trauma, y'all ashamed to wave that American flag. And I'm saying don't be ashamed to wave that flag. That flag ain't did nothing to you. You guys have rich history here in America. Your ancestors have rich history here in America. You guys have won wars. You guys have solved problems. You guys have created businesses. You guys have developed new technologies right here in America, just like anyone else. You guys have contribute to America. And that's why I love when Donald Trump, he says some crazy stuff, but he also do some great things. He's a straightforward guy. He's direct. You understand me? But going back to Labor Day, ain't nobody stopping you guys from waving your American flag. Shoot, wave your Juneteenth flag, whatever you want to wave. Do I have a license? What do you mean? Do I have a license? Let's see. Hold on, what you asking me about the property? What happened to your property tax if you reappraise your house? Does that go up? Nah, 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 nah. See, your the value of your home has nothing to do with your property tax. The property tax is based off of your county, the county that you live in, right? So yeah, I could have a $500,000 home in Arkansas, but that's not going to raise my property tax. The property tax is raised by the county that you live in. So whatever county you live in, if they raise the property tax, then your property tax go up. If they lower the property tax, your property tax gets lowered. If you guys don't know, in the state of Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis, and I believe if this gets finalized and gets approved, right, in the state of Florida, Florida would be the next hotbed again for a lot of people to move in. Why? Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, wants to remove and eliminate property taxes for homeowners. If you know, down there in Miami, in South Florida, all over Florida, there's multi-million dollar homes, right? In those areas where these multi-million dollar homes are a lot of rich people. That's why their property taxes are a lot higher than the urban development homes, right? The low income homes. That's just how it is, right? But if Ron DeSantis is able to remove property tax, that means everyone, every homeowner in Florida, I'm not talking about California or New York, I'm talking about in Florida, will not have to pay property tax. So no, if you fix your house up and get it reappraised and the value goes up of your home, that has nothing to do with the property tax. The property tax is governed by your local state government or county. You know what I mean? So or the city that you live in. That's what's yeah, your local state city government. But yeah, that's one thing Ron DeSantis trying to get eliminate is to remove property taxes, and I believe a lot of multi-million heirs and billionaires are going to want to come down to here and invest or buy property because they will have to pay the $30,000, $40,000 property tax. Like right now, I believe my property tax a year is like 33 or $3,600. And the reason why our property tax go up almost every year is because we live in a hurricane infested fucking area. So when insurance go up, the property tax gonna have to go up. You know what I mean? Because now the insurance is not gonna be willing to want to insure your home, so they have to go up because you're more of a high risk than what's a safe place? Than Wyoming? Not really. Wyoming get tornadoes, right? Um, so we get a lot of natural disasters. But it's crazy what's been going on the last couple of years. I believe every state is getting natural disasters nowadays, right? Um, but yeah, property taxes also go up if you add square footage to your home. For example, a pool. I've never added a pool to my property, but I've never heard that before. If you add square footage, all depends on, like I said, whatever state you live in. Um, if it goes up or don't. But as far as my knowledge, with the homes that I purchased, my property tax will go up due to natural disasters. I have purchased a home, got it reappraised, and made an extra 80,000 on that home, and my property tax stayed the same. So I can't. I don't know. Um, I don't really know too much about that. Um, but I don't really focus on property taxes. I focus on the home and how much I can make. I don't fall in love with my properties. Everything has a price. So I don't fall in love with my property. I'm not in the business to own my dream home and live there for the next 30 years. Um, the home that I want to live in is definitely going to be paid off, right? Um, but yeah, I don't focus on property taxes. I just focus on buying the property, fix it up, keep it up, and when the number is right, sell that motherfucker and do it again. Yeah, hold up, y'all, man. I'm dealing with this speed race at all. What part of Florida? What part of Florida you live in? What part of Florida? Like I said, I can stand incorrect. Like all my remodels, I've never added square footage. All I did was I do all my remodels inside the home. You know what I mean? New kitchen, bathroom, simple shit like that. I'll paint the cabinets. Um, I'll add a fence, but I've never like added a pool. I never added an extra room. I never did that. You know, like the home I got the last two homes, I did minor touches. Palm Coast. Is that by Cocoa Beach? Out there by Daytona, or is that West Palm Beach? Palm Coast. I'm trying to figure out where the hell that's at. Is that on that side of I-95? I'm on the west side. I don't live on the east side. Follow trucker. Fellow truck. Oh, you're a trucker too? Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, there's something about buying homes and reselling it. It does something to me. Um, like I said, like my friend of mine, he made 100 grand. You know, of course, he had to pay taxes and all that stuff. But he put in, I believe, all in with the FHA, like 7 grand, um, and made 100 grand. North for Daytona. Yeah, I passed by you guys. I passed. Yeah, I think I did. Matter of fact, I think I had a pickup over there. If I'm not mistakenly that I'm mistaken. That's by the NASA, right? In that area where the moon they be shooting up rockets and stuff. Um, I think I picked up over there. A long time ago, small little town. Yo, how's the are the properties very expensive over there? Like, what's the average cost for a home out there in Palm Coast? Matter of fact, now if you're north of Daytona, then I don't believe it's by Canaveral. I don't believe it's over there. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm on 75. I'm with the good old boys. You on I-95, man. Um, but yeah, man, like that narrative, we have the ability to make money, but we're scared of problems. And I'm talking about Black Americans. We're just scared of the problems. We are governed by the issue rather than the solution. Because check it out. As an American, you could take the money here, get a personal loan, open up a business in another country. I'm not saying you're not going to run into, their rules and regulation over there, of course. But you could open up another business. Like one of a country that I look at, I'm like, yo, if they had like a waste management system over there, if I could start a waste management system over there, I will make billions. The same way how the United States have the waste management, they take all the trash, They recycle the good stuff and they make new products. They make bottles. They make soda cans. They make rubber. If I could do that over there, there's so much fucking trash in the streets, so much fucking trash in the water. If I could fucking open up a waste management business over there and then somehow convince the government of that country to fund my business, to give me a grant that they get from these other countries to help, clean up their country, man, I'll be a billionaire. All it takes for me to pull the trigger, you know, I go to these other countries and I see these problems. Like, yo, I know the solution because I live in America. I'm born and raised in America. We've done this years ago. It used to be, damn. Oh yeah, yeah. So that was during COVID. Now where I live at, you can't even find a house for 450,000. Hell nah. Good luck. That's a steal. But if it's going down, I gotta look. I gotta look in y'all area, man. I really gotta look into y'all area, man. Cause like, did you hear about Ron DeSantis trying to take away the property tax? So I wonder if there's no property tax, you could add as much square foot as you want. Ain't no property tax. But 450,000? Damn, hell nah. Even to this day, you can't find a house for 450,000 where I live at. hmm hmm I'm in the Tampa area, over there, Sarasota, Brandon, Bradenton, in that area. Hell nah. Hell nah. But there's so much solution. There's so much things that I look at, right? That I think to myself, like, damn, if I'm able to, open up a business over here, you know how much money I could make? Because there's problems all around the world that's already fixed over here. So you don't have to recreate the wheel. You just gotta take the solution that was made over here and do it over there. Every year, these third world countries get these grants and these loans from other countries. And I understand there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot of crooked politicians. There's a lot of people that keep their money in their pocket and leave the area as it is, right? Because they don't give two shits about the people. But man, I'm just saying, man, there's got to be one. There has to be one freaking country that actually wants to change. You know what I'm saying? In the third world country, man. But I really do believe it's not that narrative that's getting pushed around that, oh, Americans can't go in their country and wave their flags because y'all don't go over there. Y'all stay here. And then when y'all go to these other countries, you're going to freaking Italy, Egypt, y'all going to freaking Dubai, London, y'all going to the Caribbean islands, Bahamas, Jamaica, I say Jamaican. You're not going to these other countries that you say you cannot do this, do that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can't do that you do out here in the Western country as far as, same sex and stuff like that. You can't do that over there, of course. But ain't nobody stopping you from waving your American flag over there. You just won't do it. It's not them. There's a reason behind why you're not waving your American flags. You go to the hood and see how many American flags you see hanging up on their doorstep. But then I could go to the suburbs. I could go to where all the rednecks are at, and I won't stop seeing American flags. Sure, you'll see it on the highways. So don't give me that narrative that it's Labor Day. Labor Day was made for us, and y'all out here waving y'all flags and da 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 da. But you want me to wave your own flag, or the American flag, at your house? Ain't nobody stopping you from waving your American flag. Sure, if you want to wave your LBGBTPKP, the alphabet flag, you can wave that too. Ain't nobody stopping you doing that. You're in America. Talking about, these islanders took over Labor Day. Well, matter of fact, baby, these islanders came over here and started picking the strawberries, the tomatoes, the watermelon. These islanders came over here and started working at these hospitality jobs like the hotels and the restaurants. While y'all went to school like you should. to be an administration director, director, to be a nurse, to be a doctor, to be a dentist, to you know to get to move up in life. But now some of y'all choose to go in the strip club and shake your ass. But you mad at us on Labor Day, shaking the flag of our country? Would you want us to wave the American flag, the flag that you won't even wave? Come on, bro. Don't do that, man. I got an American flag on this truck right here. I got no, I have no hate on the American flag. I have an American flag on this truck. The flag ain't do nothing to me. Just because of one bad apple is not going to make me think differently of that flag. I don't have a Nazi flag. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't got no Nazi. I got an American flag right here on this truck, baby. Yeah, because I was born here. I know what it's like in these other countries. I know that we are privileged, even though that we go through a lot of oppression, a lot of hate, a lot of discrimination. But I also know the opportunities that we could have if we put our mind to it. Do we got to work harder than others? Yes. We don't have the privilege, but that doesn't mean we're not going to be able to achieve. All right. You know? So, yeah, man, I seen that too, man. Talking about, oh, labor, all these islanders out here, they took over Labor Day. Do you know what Labor Day is? Labor Day is for the people that worked. Labor Day actually, matter of fact, Labor Day was actually for the veterans on D-Day that went out there and fought on that beach, right? I believe World War One and World War Two. They went out there, they fought on the beach, and it was the biggest, casualties I believe marked in American history. So they came up with no. I take that back. That's Memorial Day. My bad, y'all. Let me. I'm sorry, man. And that was an honor in history. Labor Day, war during the war, when all the Americans that were working while their brothers, uncles, husbands were out there fighting, and a lot of Americans working in the factories, a lot of the females, a lot of people were out here busting their ass. So they came out with, Labor Day as a national holiday where people could kind of sit back and remember, the time where everyone came together and supported the country throughout this crisis, right? I believe, y'all let me know if I'm wrong. I'll take it for light. But now you see Labor Day in New York. There's a lot of Caribbean islander, a lot of islanders out there waving their Jamaican flag, their Bahamian flag, their Haitian flag, Dominican flag, Puerto Rican flag. Yeah, bro, we know how to party. But I just in that part of New York. If you go to freaking Wisconsin, you'll see the Americans waving their American flags. If you go to Arkansas, you'll see the Americans waving their flags. If you go to Alabama, you'll see the Americans waving their flags. You just won't wave the flag. So how about this? How about next Labor Day? Y'all start a group chat and y'all create a float to enter into the Labor Day, and y'all have y'all float and y'all play y'all music. Y'all do what y'all do. You guys are more welcome. It's your country. You're more welcome to start your own business. It's your country. You help establish this country. Ain't nobody stopping you guys. I would like to see more American flags being waved. So, like the last time I seen the country together was during 9/11. That was the first time I seen black, whites, Hispanics, everyone came together. Some of you guys are too young for 9/11. But that was the first time I saw everyone was a patriot. Everyone was waving the flag. Everyone came together. Everyone put their arms around each other. Everyone put himself up, encouraged each other not to give up. That was the last time. That was 2000, 9/11, 2011. Was it 9/11? No, fuck. Why am I saying 2011? The 2020. Yeah, yeah. I almost gave up my age. That was the last time I seen Black Americans waving the flag. Y'all want to get mad on Labor Day. The Islanders out here waving their flag, having a good old time. Y'all the one who taught us how to hang out, shake our ass, get drunk, show a little bit of skin. We outside. Y'all the one that showed up. Now we outside too. Y'all mad cause we outside. Y'all ain't outside no more. Y'all mad at us. Damn. So man, I like man, ain't no reason like when I hear that narrative that, you know, we need to put a stop to foreigners open up businesses in America. We need to put a stop to foreigners waving their flags and da 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 da. They don't respect us and da 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 da. What? No 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 no. You guys don't respect it because you know what? You guys tell us the narrative that this happened, that happens. Woo the woo. These people that wave these type of flags are bad individuals, which I'm not saying they're not. They are. But when I see those people, I look them in their eyes. I don't look at the flag that they wave. Shoot, they could wave a freaking LBGBTG flag, the alphabet flag. I ain't gonna say all alphabet people are you know racist, because guaranteed there's racist alphabet people too. There's racist black people too. Prejudice. Let me say prejudice. Right? There's prejudice gay people, lesbians. There's prejudice black, Hispanics. Yeah, Asians. Yeah, there is. But they're also good people. They're also good people, man. Hold on, man. Let me read your comment, man. Hold up, man. So I was just, so I said, let me get on this live, man, because I was kind of irate, upset, seeing all these people talking their bullshit. And I understand you guys are, clickbaiting. Y'all want to stir up a conversation. But guess what? You got one. Don't you hate it as a truck driver? You freaking driving, and then you have a car that was speeding just to get to the side of you, and then stop and stay right there, right at the curve. Now they don't want to speed anymore. They're comfortable next to a truck going around the curve. That's the perfect spot to do their eyelash, do their makeup, send their last text message. Because guarantee you, messing with me, this gonna be your last motherfucking text message. Facts. If you survive or don't survive, I guarantee you ain't gonna be texting like that again about next to a truck. Facts. I'll have your family having a do not text and drive awareness, motherfucker. And I know I'm not. This is simulation. I'm driving. I'm not really. Let me tell you all that. Because people be get on my ass. Oh, you talking all this, da 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 da. But look what you're doing. I know. I need to stop too. I need to stop too, man. But I keep my eyes. I'm a trucker, man. I'm always watching. My surroundings. But very soon I'm going to be at the house doing this. Genuine question: have you ever been smelling bad and nasty? Too funny. Have I ever been smelling bad and nasty? Hell no. When you got the dew wipes, what are you talking about? I wash my ass, baby. Hell. Now I have encountered fellow truck drivers. To be honest, I have encountered fellow truck drivers that stink. Like I'm talking about stink. There's some people that don't wear deodorant due to religious reasons. You guys know what I mean. But I have encountered people that ain't religious at all and they stink. Yes, I have encountered them. But there's things that's called dude wipes. You could buy at any truck stops. So for example, if you showered yesterday, right, and you have enough time to go straight to your destination, but you also know that you could sleep, you could park over there overnight, but you also know that there ain't no truck stops or none of that, right? You can use dew wipes. Also, if you go on freaking TikTok shop, I believe I don't have TikTok, but if you go on TikTok shop, Amazon, wherever, you can find portable showers, bro. It's not that hard, bro. They're like, come on. There's a lot of things you could do to stay clean in this truck. You could get you a portable shower that has a one of those portable curtains that goes all the way around. Get you a gallon of water from Walmart, right? Get you a few of them bad boys. It's a battery pack, solar pack, whatever. It's a pump. You put the pump, the hose down your gallon of water, and you freaking wash your ass right there, outside, wherever, in the woods. You can wash anywhere, in your truck, wherever you want to wash your ass. Hey, you might say, well, what is this cold? We got a goddamn microwave in the truck. Heat the goddamn water up. You know, pour half of the gallon into a cup or a container. Pour it down the rest of the jug. It'll warm that bad boy up. There's a way to everything in trucking, baby. Facts. King, Hasty King. Who's Hasty King? Yeah. So going back to that question, have I ever been nasty and bad? Nah, bro. You got do wipes. You can also purchase portable showers, pumps from any of these online stores, um, marketplace, or you could just wash your ass. They got showers at truck stops. And if you got a reward card, if you're part of the reward card, anyone be a part could be a part of the reward cards. If you pump over 50 gallons at a time, you get a free shower. So there's no reason we're always at the field pump, pumping more than what's going on? What's going on, man? Pumping more than 50 gallons. So nah. So going back to that, have I ever stank? Nah, bro. I have do wipes, you know what I mean? But I shower every time. I rarely um use do wipes. That's why it comes. That's why you have to like trip plan. You know where you're gonna. You basically know how many miles you have, what time you have to deliver, and he also wants to know what's the truck stop you got to stop for the day. So before I even once I get loaded, before I even press the D button, that's the drive button, I am route planning my trip. So I know where I'm gonna stop at. I know where I'm gonna fill up at. So my day's already planned out. All right. So hope that answered your question. I don't know if it did or not, but I hope it did. Hope it did. Man, it was just cold not too long ago. Now I'm hot. Now I'm freaking hot. Salute and respect, broker, in the chat. No problem, man. It was nice talking to you too, man. Drop us a subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel, bro. Um, definitely was a great conversation, man. Thank you for the like, man. But I think we really do got to get out the stigma of, you know, of not being accountable um, for our own actions. And I fall into that. You know what I mean? There's times where, I know what to do is right. And, I'm lazy. You know what I'm saying? So, but I can't beat myself up and say, oh, it's because of the traffic, I'm late. No, it's because that I wanted to stay up and scam through, YouTube and do this and do that. And now 4 hours passed by when I was supposed to go to sleep and I didn't go to sleep. Now I woke up late. I'm rushing and I'm stuck in traffic and I'm da 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 da. And now my dispatcher's asking me, "Oh, what happened? What time are you gonna be at the ETA? You're gonna be late, sir." Da 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 da. And the first thing I say, "Well, it's not my fault. It's traffic. It's not my fault. My son happened to my fuel cap." No, it's about accountability. You know, if I would have did what I needed to do, stop, shower, grab me something to eat, maybe spend about 30 minutes and go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? I would have been all right. Um, do I want to do that all the time? No, it freaking sucks when all you're doing is driving. You drive, stop, eat, shower, go back to sleep. You know what I mean? But there's accountability. You got to take accountability. And I believe that's what's wrong with our culture. We don't really take accountability well or don't know how to. I definitely liked Yeah, subscribe already, dude. You seem like a wonderful soul. Thank you, man. You as well. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the subscription, y'all. Appreciate for the subscription, man. So I'm trying to go more. I'm trying to go live a lot more. Thank you for the like. I'm trying to go live a lot more often, but due to my schedule, as you can see, but I do got a system. If you got, I got a broker talk lounge that I got to build up. If you guys watch my older videos, you guys see the, where I'm actually live in at my lounge, and we're gonna deck that out. We're gonna get it real nice. I want to put an air hockey in there. That's one thing I really want to do is put an air hockey into the broker talk lounge, man. But I did invest in some cameras. I'm gonna have to invest in some more cameras in the future. Um, but yeah, man, we gonna build this community up. I've been lazy, not lazy, man. Well, there goes accountability. Yeah, I've been lazy. I've been accountable. I've been lazy, dealing with life, how everyone does. Um, but there's so much topic I just want to touch. So much going on, man. Um, and that's one of the topics I really want to talk about, man. It's like the stigma that we hear. It's because it is, it's because of that. We're not progressive as a as a freaking community. But then you got Greg Cardone made over $100 million off of the urban community. You got Greg Cardone purchases up all these apartment complexes, apartment complex around the world, the country, buying these private jets from the urban community. He made his money from the urban community, but we can't do the same for us. Crazy, right? Like that's mind-boggling. Freaking that is mind blown right there, man. But I digress, man. I digress. Um, hey, you got it. You're right. At the end of the day, you're right. You can't do that in another country. Stay where you're at. Do what you do, man. But for y'all out here really like getting it, for y'all out here that's out here hustling, getting your money and trying to find other means of flipping your money, man, do it. If you guys are trying to learn how to flip your money, no, I don't have a program where you can. This is not the part where I say, hey, I have a program, this master class next month. You sign up, it's gonna be $9.99, $999. No, 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 no. I'm gonna give you some free game. But eventually, when we start rolling now, I'm gonna have to charge y'all, motherfucker. The ones that came late, not y'all. You guys are the original OGs. Y'all gonna be the original OGs, right? The day ones. But buy Richest Man in Babylon. That teach you about money. You know, you got to look at your dollars as your property. So if you have $5, you got to come up with a solution or a way to make your dollars produce dollars. You want your money working for you not working for money. Now, of course, we know in the beginning we're going to have to work for money, but eventually we want to get out of that race where we can take our money that we have worked for and put it into tools or investment tools so it could generate money, right? So now we can stop chasing money and start producing money. Okay. And then when we start producing money, now we want to learn how to find a problem and create a solution for that problem to make money, right? So now we're not only we're producing money on this end, but we're also generating money with our head, with our mind. So read The Richest Man in Babylon. Take notes. If you don't like reading, you can go on YouTube and listen to the audiobooks. But I like reading because I like to take a lot of notes. And I like to highlight and put sticky notes so I learn better like that. I'm more of a hands-on person. I can see. I'm very good at seeing, but while I'm listening, I like to write it down. You know. But Richest Man in Babylon, everyone knows. Think and Grow Rich. Um, you know, Rich Dad Poor Dad. But those are just a few books of many books that can help you have a better understanding of how to become a better individual and how to change your mindset. All right. So I highly encourage you, if you want to, if you don't know where to go, where to start, buy you a 9.99. I don't know the price on Amazon, but buy you one of those paperback books, Richest Man in Babylon, and read it. Study it. Have an understanding of what is money and what's the sole purpose of money. Okay? I'm not sure if you guys ever watched that one movie. It was about the Vanderbilts, and the Vanderbilts was what at one time the richest family in the world, and now the Vanderbilt is the poorest as far as the the rich guys. As far as the rich guys, they're one of the poorest. If you guys don't know who Anderson Cooper is, he's a Vanderbilt. He has a Vanderbilt bloodline. It's him and another Vanderbilt that's a millionaire. The rest of them are broke because their father never taught them about the fundamental of money. All they knew was how to spend money. So they took the trillions, the billions of dollars of that time, and blew it throughout generations, right? And there was another movie. I forgot the name of the movie, but I remember, you know, this family, they're rich, and the son-in-law wanted to, it was a Christmas party, and the son-in-law wanted to surprise the family with brand new Tiffany um, watches and whatever, whatever. And the head person of that family, was highly upset, and he told him to take all that back and send it back. He said, "Why the hell are you spending our money over there?" And keep in mind, this is like a high-end, rich item that this person bought, or Rolex or something. Just imagine Gucci, Louis, one of these places, right? And this guy, you know, was upset, highly upset, that he bust his ass for you to go spend your money on this dumb shit. And if you look at our culture today, we look at success buying these name brand design. And once again, I know back in the days we couldn't. But guess what, motherfucker? You wasn't there back in the days. So why are you doing it now? Your ancestors not gonna be happy of you fucking buying Gucci and Louis. They're not gonna say, "You go, girl." They're not gonna say that shit. They're gonna be tossing and turning in their fucking graves. Okay, they taught your great 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 grandmother better, and so on and so on and so on and so on. So that's just what that's what we lost, man. We don't have the nucleus family no more in our community. They ripped that away from us. I know, but we could make a change. We definitely could make a change. Man, it's fucking hectic over here, boy. It's fucking wild over here, man. Fucking 6 o'clock in the fucking morning, bro. Y'all niggas up? The fuck y'all doing up? Oh Lord, I gotta get out this fucking lane, dog. I got this dumbass truck driver on my right. He wants to speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down. Like, bro, like, what you gonna do, bro? Because I'm trying to get where you at. I'm really trying to get where you at, dog. There you go, slowing down. There you go, slowing down again. All right, come on, bro. But yeah, man, like, we just gotta get out of that stigma, man. What you guys got? What you guys got going on over this weekend, man? You guys gonna watch any games, man? Any college football? Last week was a fabulous start to college football, and I hope my Florida State, man, they can keep it up, man. I love it. I'm happy. I bet it 150 on Florida State to win versus Alabama, but does not mean that we going to the national championship now. Last year, yeah, we lost to Georgia Tech, but we also lost to a lot of opponents that we shouldn't have lost. So we're going against this team right here. I'm not saying we're going to lose, but I want to be more. I want to watch them. one day at a time. Definitely one day at a time, bro. Bro, how long is this freaking construction? This fucking shit's ridiculous, bro. Damn. Yeah, I think I gotta come over on this side. I believe I do. Yep, I remember this spot. Freak. Come on, man. Move out my way. Move out my way. And this is what happens, bro. They block you in. They block you in, dog. This is what happened, bro. They fucking block you in, dog. And this fucking asshole is not, man. Fuck you. Fuck out of here, man. Come on, man. Go, Mercedes. Go. Go. Come on, bro. Damn, dog. Bro, Lord, man. I despise this fucking state, bro. I freaking hate Chicago, bro. I hate with a passion freaking Chicago, bro. For all the years I've been driving in Chicago, it never changes. Never freaking changes. Freaking hate it, bro. God damn. Yeah, man, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm about to get off live. Like I said, man, y'all go ahead and subscribe. Well, I'm at a truck. I'm at a stop right now in construction zone. But y'all go ahead and subscribe, man. Bro, I hate Chicago with a passion. Like a motherfucker could be on the left side, not even speeding, driving slow. Not even going toward with the flow of traffic. But the minute that person see you put your turning signal on, he's gonna block you. He's not gonna slow down, and then the person behind him is gonna try to speed up, and then it's like a chain reaction. But the whole time while I'm driving, you wasn't even focusing on me. You know what I mean? And that's freaking annoying, bro. Like this early in the morning, y'all. Like how the hell am I in traffic at this time in the morning? Look at this, y'all. It's crazy, man. But I appreciate you guys watching the live, man. We got to do this a lot more. Um, Definitely gonna start going live around this time at the lounge, my Broken Talk lounge, where I'm not driving. I'm not driving the simulation, but I really appreciate you guys for watching live, man. I hope we had a great discussion. Thank you for talking to some of you guys, especially my fellow hometown representative. You know what I'm saying? The greatest state in the world. And I've been to every state you could think of besides of Hawaii and Alaska. And there's nothing like Florida, man. Nothing can compare to Florida. California can't compare. Texas cannot compare. Now, of course, they have their like Texas got great food. I love their architect when it comes to their homes. They got great vibe, right? Louisiana has great food and this, that, and the third, and California has their palm trees and the beaches, whatever you want, you like in California. But Florida has all of that in one melting pot. It has all of that. So it's nothing compared to Florida, man. But I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys be good. Enjoy your weekend. Probably go live tomorrow. Watching the game. Getting a live reaction. See if we can keep this streak going with my good old Florida State nose. So you guys have a good one, man. Enjoy the day. Stay safe, man. Stay blessed.